Well, good afternoon and a very warm welcome to our viewers to our first ever instalment of the three-man weave here on Tiger Talk TV. It's going to be a show we're going to bring to you throughout the course of the pre-season and the season proper 2010 next year, including just a panel type show with some guests and some various things to happen throughout the year. So I think you'll find it's enjoyable. It's a new thing for Noosa Football Club. It's fantastic to have. But joining me, I couldn't do it all on my own. I've got two very special panellists to join me. The first guy I've got, former Noosa Premiership player, and I'll get him to talk a little bit about himself when he joins. Premiership player in 1997 with Noosa, has coached extensively in Victoria and up here. Some say he's got a head for radio. I probably wouldn't be so harsh. I'd probably just say unfortunate. But please welcome Damien Butch Smith.
Thank you, Brett.
Damien, it's a bit of a rundown on yourself and your history, football and life in general.
Well, first of all, it's probably a bit disappointing to start the show. We did have a big guest lined up today, and that's Jonathan Brown. He did make it, but unfortunately he didn't have time to have our interview, which is very disappointing, but we'll get on with life. Myself, yes, some would describe I've got a head for radio. Some would also describe I've got a head like my bull mastiff horse, but either which way, I'm quite happy with it. It's worked for me over the years.
You've got a beautiful life and two lovely kids, so it's obviously done the job.
No, it did. And football probably got me my wife. She's a mad footy fan. We grew up in neighbouring streets, but I didn't know her until I was later in life, and she was a little bit older as well. As far as footballing goes, yeah, I've played nearly every state except for Tasmania. Played in every state. So all different levels. Probably enjoyed my most time here in Noosa though. Best bunch of blokes I played with was in Noosa. Did win the premiership, but '99 the Drawn Grand Final would have been my highlight of my career. Yeah.
From the ground.
That's good, Brownie. Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon. So, Damien, you coached here at Noosa last year in the reserves. Not going around again this year?
No, my coaching days are over. I think the passion really wasn't there. You enjoy the ups and downs. The best part of that coaching is when you win, and when you don't win it enough, it's you lose a bit of that fire.
So you're very happy to swap the coaching hat, I suppose, for a stubby cooler and watch from the outer.
Oh, well, none of that. I'm now one of the reporters on the three-man league.
A very sought after job. Plenty of applicants. But we'll get on to our next guest. Thanks very much, Damien. This guy is another former premiership player here at the football club in 1997. Uncanny ability to sniff out a goal. Some say he trampled his own grandmother to get to the last 4x goal at a party. But we welcome to the show. He's one of our major sponsors too of the show. It's Julian Pittsy Pitts. Welcome, Pittsy.
Oh, thanks, Brett. Butch, good to see you, mate.
Good to be here.
Yeah, no, fantastic to be here on this new program, the Three-Man Weave. I think it's a great thing for the website and Tiger TV, and just good to be talking footy.
Look, we've called the show the Three-Man Weave because as I think it's one of the country coaches' favourite drills, and we were going to ask our special guest Brownie if Fossey still pulls it out. Butch, did you do the three-man weave regularly when you were coaching?
In the early days, not so much in the later ones.
Julian, when you were at under 18s?
No, you always did it, and enjoyed it as a player too. I think it makes.
You played more in the early days.
Yes, I did play. Yeah, not in the later days, but at under 18s. Yeah, the three-man weave, I suppose, was always one when you couldn't think of another one. I remember doing it quite a bit.
Certainly a good warm-up drill to get the feet going.
As time progressed, we moved on to the four-man weave, and then slowly the five-man weave, which was always a bit of a headache for the blokes with low IQs.
I must admit, I seen the five-man weave for the first time last year, and it blew me away.
Well, that's why it's the five-man weave.
Julian, some of your football background.
From the Mornings Peninsula, played a lot of footy early on at Sereno, and then came up to Noosa in 1992. Enjoyed that. Played at 4 different clubs, Mornington in the Mornings Peninsula as well, and also Dedarang, Mount Beauty. In 1999 actually left Noosa and went down the road and played at North Shore that were newly formed, but always loved playing at Noosa. Fantastic bunch of blokes, fantastic ground, and generally the supporters and the people around the club have always made it a pretty welcome place, and obviously having been a part of a successful premiership side, I suppose you don't, at the time it doesn't seem too much, but when you finish your career it's something to probably hang your hat on a little bit, but you know, no, great club here, and look forward to another season. I mean, runners up last year, and I'm still involved in some.
That's enough about Pittsy anyway.
Yeah, no.
What about we talk a bit about the season up and coming? What are the few? You've got your finger on the pulse as far as recruiting goes.
What
we
is your role at the football club, Julian?
At the moment, I'm a part of a football operations committee, and also helping the senior match committee and coach recruiting players next year. We do have our finger on a few players already. A couple from one from the Mount Gambier region and one from Lavington. Look like handy sorts, but in saying that too, we've lost a fair few players this year, so we've got to cover at this stage. Blokes like Hicks, Hammond haven't committed to playing for the Noosa Footy Club, and in my view, they're probably the two best players involved at senior level at the footy club. You know, along with Ryan Jeffries and obviously Jay Reynolds.
I see one recruit's already here, Luke Brower from the
Lavington.
Football Club.
Yeah, Luke
He looks like a handy sort.
He does, Butch. He's very, very fit. He represented New South Wales in the Australian Country Championships just 2 years ago in 2008, and